Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
What's up, everybody? What be going on, man? It's your boy Q, aka Uncle Quan. Welcome back to the channel with another film breakdown. You guys voted once again on that poll, man. I appreciate you guys for participating in the poll. You guys let me know who you want to see in this next film breakdown, and it was our guy Hayden Hurst taking the cake for this next one, man. I'm super excited to talk about Hayden Hurst because if you are a Panthers fan like myself, you know by now we have not had a dominant tight end for a long time since Greg Olsen retired. We've been trying to figure out who's going to be the guy to replace Greg Olsen, and I think we finally found our guy, y'all. As stated by our guy Scott Fitterer, this is going to be our next 50-catch guy.
He just knows how to get open, knows how to play the game. He's competitive, he's tough.
How many catches did he have?
52.
So he's the 50-catch guy.
Our staff was super excited to recruit this guy. This was another offseason acquisition that we definitely needed to add to this roster, especially with our tight end production being pretty much at an all-time low. Our tight ends last season only combined for 40 receptions in the entire season, just under 400 yards. So we're looking for more production out of our tight ends. Of course, we didn't really use the tight ends as much under the Matt Rule era. Our last time we had a tight end over 50 catches was Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen had 52 catches for nearly 600 yards in 2019, and that was a minute ago now. And Greg Olsen at the time was coming off an injured foot, so that was basically a broken Greg Olsen. And since then, we have not had much production at the tight end position. And I think Hayden Hurst is going to bring something different to the table. And not only Hayden Hurst, but also Tommy Tremble, who we will talk about in another video. But I think we will use our tight ends a lot, especially with this young guy, to be a safety blanket for our rookie quarterback. Expect to see a lot more two tight end formations. Expect to see those guys rotated, especially with Ian Thomas, who's also another good blocking tight end. Maybe not a great receiving tight end, but he can be productive from time to time. So expect to see these three tight ends rotated, and expect to see Hayden Hurst take the role for that 50-catch tight end, man. So I can't wait to talk about Hayden Hurst, man. Hayden Hurst is a big body receiver who can catch the ball out of the backfield, who can catch the ball from the slot. Anywhere where you put him, he can catch the ball and be productive. He can get those first downs for you, and he can be a red zone threat as well. So look for that throughout this video. I'm excited to go ahead and dive into it. With that being said, make sure you guys hit that like button for your boy. Subscribe if you ain't already subscribed, man. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video on this amazing channel. We got training camp coming up, man, and I cannot wait to bring you guys more content. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and hop into this film breakdown. Let's get it. All right, guys, let's take a look at this week 1 matchup. Off the rip, we got a division rival game against the Pittsburgh Steelers right here in Cincinnati, guys. So take a look at the bottom of your screen where Hayden Hurst is lined up at tight end, of course. So what he's going to do right here is called a block and release. So what he's going to do is he's going to block this guy coming off the edge right here. He's going to throw him into the next lineman pretty much. And then he's going to come out and run a route. So let's let it run real quick and we'll talk about it. All right, he throws that block. The next guy picks him up. Hayden Hurst catches a quick curl route, and he takes the defenders for the first down. All right, let's let it run from another angle. Take a look at Hurst right here. Blocks the guy coming off the edge. Quick turnaround. Takes one defender, two defenders with him to that first down. And watch how he gets up with all that energy, man. I love the energy from Hayden Hurst. I can't wait to see that in Carolina, man. I'm a guy who likes when the players react to a big play. And Hayden Hurst is a guy who's going to get up. He's going to show you that, look, I just made you look like a little boy. And I cannot wait to see shit like that. So expect Hayden Hurst to bring that energy to Carolina. I cannot wait to see this, man. All right, guys, let's move on to the next play. Take a look at the top of your screen. Let's take a look at this matchup right here. So look who's lined up in front of Hayden Hurst. The best edge rusher in the league, arguably the best edge rusher in the league, and TJ Watt. TJ Watt, we all know, is a dominant player. A lot of Panthers fans have PTSD from watching TJ Watt pretty much in Cam Newton's career. So we all know the dangerous threat that TJ Watt brings to the whole National Football League. You have to come up with the entire game plan for him to take him out of the game, or at least try to, right? But what Hayden Hurst does throughout this entire game, with hours and hours of film watching and just looking at this entire game, watching this matchup with TJ Watt and Hayden Hurst, Hayden Hurst held his own against TJ Watt. He took him out of a couple of plays throughout this entire game. And this play specifically lets you know that he can hold his own against premier edge rushers. So I'm looking forward to seeing this throughout the season, especially against guys like Michael Parsons, who's another dominant edge rusher in this league. So let's let this play run and watch how he blocks. Watch how he blocks TJ Watt. He takes him completely out of the play to open up a running lane for Joe Burrow or Joe Mixon to run through. So I think this is something that Miles Sanders is really going to love. We talked about how Miles Sanders likes to run behind his blocks. Now, yes, Joe Mixon didn't choose to run through that hole, but if he did, he's got a wide open hole. And y'all know Miles Sanders like to run through short creases. We talked about that in our last video. And look, again, Hayden Hurst holds his own against TJ Watt. He took him completely out of the play. Expect to see more of this going against dominant premier edge rushers and putting him against those guys to take him out of the play. All right, guys, let's move on to later in this game where Hayden Hurst is lined up, of course, at tight end. Again, he's matched up against TJ Watt, but this time Hayden Hurst is coming out for a pass and TJ Watt drops back in coverage. Now, he does shut this coverage down, but we're not here to focus on the route and the coverage right now. But TJ Watt drops back in coverage. But the interesting thing that Hayden Hurst does right here that shows plenty of awareness is something that I really like. He sees Joe Burrow scrambling, and as soon as he catches Joe Burrow scrambling, look what he does. He gets right in front of TJ Watt, and he goes to throw, or at least attempt to throw a block for the next guy. So I like this awareness because if Bryce Young is in trouble, I don't want to look for guys just standing around. We talked about that already. I don't want to see you standing around. I want to see you try to continue to move to try to at least block for your quarterback or get open for your quarterback. It's called the scramble drill. So what Hayden Hurst does right here, he immediately recognizes that and he gets in front of TJ Watt to kind of shield him out of the play. And he also looks to throw a block against another guy. But at that point, Joe Burrow is already stopped. So I love the awareness by Hayden Hurst on this play specifically. Expect to see a lot more of this under Bryce Young. So I can't wait. All right, guys, let's take a look at another play in this game. This is another beautiful example of how he's able to use that big body and that strength to take these edge rushers completely out of the play. So what happens right here is this is a disguised rush right here from this edge guy. So take a look at the screen, and we're going to let this play right quick and watch how Hayden Hurst immediately recognizes that. He throws him completely out of the play to open up that lane for Joe Mixon to run through. Expect to see a lot of this with Miles Sanders, y'all. I can't wait to see this combination. Miles Sanders is going to love this guy to throw blocks for him. So, again, take a look at your screen. You got Hayden Hurst to the left. He immediately recognizes that blitz is coming off the edge, takes him completely out of the play, and it opens up a lane for Joe Mixon to run through. Now, Joe Mixon has a couple of more guys to have to evade by himself. But, again, we talked about this with Miles Sanders. He's able to be really good in the open field against one-on-one tackles. And I think Miles Sanders, personally, he's going to get more yards in plays like this. So if you open up the lane for Miles Sanders, it's going to be a beautiful day in Carolina. All right, guys, moving on to later in this game. Take a look at Hayden Hurst lined up at tight end, sort of in the backfield right here. I'm going to let this play run before we talk about it. So keep your eyes on Hayden Hurst right here. What he does is sneaks out of that backfield, runs straight to the flat. Now, this is not Joe Burrow's first read, so he misses him early. He's wide open for a minute, but it allows the defenders to kind of adjust and catch up to him. But he still finds Hayden Hurst, and Hayden Hurst is still able to move the chains and get a first down. He's wide open, throws a stiff arm, takes the guy with him and get a first down. All right, guys, this is another example of how you can move Hayden Hurst pretty much anywhere on the field. You can line him up at tight end, you can line him up at slot, and right here, he's the only receiver at the top of your screen. He has one-on-one against this corner right here, so of course, the defense is in zone coverage. What this corner does right here is try to play the flat. So what he does is try to get Hayden Hurst to run on the inside. But Hayden Hurst beats his outside leverage, and he's able to sit in that zone wide open. This is busted coverage for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Hayden Hurst takes advantage of that, and he sits in that open zone unless his quarterback finds him. And that's an easy first down. So let's take a look at it again. Tries to push him on the inside, but he gets outside of him. Hayden Hurst recognizes that he's by himself. So, hey, give me the ball, and I can get this first down real quick. Let's take a look at it from another angle right here, y'all. Look at this toe tap. Look at the toe tap. That's a beautiful catch by Hayden Hurst. That is amazing to be able to do as a tight end. And then watch the swag as he get up. Again, this is a guy who's going to talk a lot of shit, and I cannot wait to see it, man. Hayden Hurst is a dog, and he will let you know. He is very vocal, not afraid to talk his shit, man. So I can't wait to see that on full display. All right, guys, moving on to this primetime game against Miami. This was where they debuted their all-white uniforms, their all-white helmets. I really love these uniforms, but we're not here to talk about the uniforms. We're here to talk about our guy Hayden Hurst, who's lined up at wideout by himself. Again, another example of how you can move Hayden Hurst around on that line of scrimmage. Wherever you want him, he can be dominant in any position. All right, so we're going to let this play run real quick. Let's take a look at it. We got a guy coming in motion. Hayden Hurst runs a curl route, takes some guys with him for the first, breaking tackles, big body receiver. Again, this is a guy who's going to be very feisty, and I cannot wait to see it on full display. Let's let it run again from another angle. All right, guy coming in motion. Hayden Hurst runs a quick curl route, takes one guy, two guys, three guys, 4 and 5 with him to get a first down. And y'all already know, again, he's going to get up and he's going to let you know, I'm right here, man. I'm talking my shit, and I got the first down. This is another example of how you can use Hayden Hurst coming out of the backfield. So take a look at Hayden Hurst lined up right here at tight end. Let's let this play run and we'll talk about it. Very sneaky coming out of the backfield, running to the flat. Not quite a first down, but easy yardage to get. So let's let it run again from another angle. I like how they use this play. This play design is actually amazing. Coming out of the backfield as a tight end, that's going to be hard to defend for anybody. A linebacker, a corner, whatever you are, that's going to be hard to defend a tight end when you're not able to get your hands on him. So take another look at it. Free release, running into the flat. Let him cook. That's a beautiful tackle, by the way, because he could have gotten plenty more yards coming out of that backfield, but just short of the first down, we'll take it. And guys, let's take a look at the bottom of your screen to later in this game. Hayden Hurst is lined up right here at tight end. He runs a cross route, and this ball is delivered right into his hands. I mean, this is a beautiful ball by Joe Burrow, for one. And it's a beautiful catch. I mean, he's covered pretty much, but let's watch it again. Hayden Hurst is lined up right here. Guy runs with him, and take a look at this throw. We're not here to talk about Joe Burrow, but I gotta talk about the ball placement right here. Look at Chubb. Chubb has his eyes turned away from the quarterback, and Joe Burrow recognizes that, and he puts the ball only where Hayden Hurst can get it. I mean, he squeezes that thing right there, threads the needle, and I hope Bryce Young can make throws like this. We talked about Bryce Young in the video, how he can thread the needle, and I'm definitely expecting Bryce Young to be able to make these throws. I don't know about his rookie season, but definitely throughout his career, you will see throws like this being made. But hell of a throw, man. Hell of a throw by Joe Burrow, and a hell of a catch by Hayden Hurst to catch that thing away from the defender and get an easy first down. Right, guys, moving on to later in this game, Hayden Hurst is lined up at the top of your screen. This is another example, another threat that we have for the red zone. So we have another red zone threat. We talked about how TMJ could possibly step up into that role. We talked about how DJ Chark could step up into that role as well. And we have plenty of weapons to go to. So you're going to have to pick your poison. All right, let's talk about Hayden Hurst right here lined up at the top of your screen. Let's let this play run. So what Hayden Hurst is, Hayden Hurst runs right behind that line of scrimmage. Again, it's hard to defend a tight end when they're running behind the line of scrimmage, especially running to the flat off of man coverage. So if you're playing man coverage against Hayden Hurst, you're going to have to get your hands on him. But he can't get his hands on him because he's running behind the line of scrimmage. He disguises himself as a blocker and comes out and runs to that flat, and that's an easy touchdown. So let's see this scheme being used in Carolina, and I think we can get our guys free a lot. So we're expected to use a lot of our different weapons. We talked about a couple of our different weapons already and how they can be used in the red zone, and this is another clear example of how we can use our tight end coming out of that backfield. All right, guys, moving on to the divisional round against the Buffalo Bills. There's plenty of adversity here. So you got the Cincinnati Bengals on the road trying to win a playoff game to advance to the conference final. The Buffalo Bills have home field advantage, and they also have the weather on their side. So it's a lot of weather effects. There's so much adversity that they have to face. And what I'm looking for from Hayden Hurst is, can you be productive in these big games? When it's crunch time, when it's playoff time, I need a player to rise to the occasion. So let's take a look at this first play by Hayden Hurst. It's not a flashy play. It's not a big play, but it's a very safe play. So what I need from my quarterback, I need my quarterback to be able to scan his field and be able to find his security blanket. We have a security blanket and guys like Adam Thielen and guys like Miles Sanders coming out of the backfield. But our main security blanket is going to be those tight ends. And Hayden Hurst is going to be the main tight end. I hope he gets 50 catches this year. And this is a pure example of how he's able to get a simple catch, but he's able to move the chains, move the ball consistently. So let's take a look at the top of your screen. He's lined up at slot. This is a simple curl route, and he's able to move the ball. So just move the ball. It don't have to be flashy. Be efficient and be consistent. Take a look right here at slot. He got plenty of room. He runs a quick curl route, sure-handed, and moves the chains. So he didn't move the chains, but he moved the ball, and he's right in front of the first down. So we can get a short yard situation. All right, guys, let's move on to later in this game. Take a look at Hayden Hurst lined up right here at the left of your screen. Now, this is another example of how he's able to use his strength to take people completely out of the play. So let's let this play run. So what Hayden Hurst does, he comes across your screen for a crack block, takes him completely out of the play. I mean, he had no chance to stop that run to get there first. This is a short yard situation. They need about 3 yards right here. And what they do is bring Hayden Hurst to the other side to throw a crack block. So what a crack block is, you have a free defender, a free rusher. He thinks he's by himself. And then just when you think you're by yourself, you come out of that backfield. Hold on, let me remove this real quick. You come out of that backfield and you throw a surprise block, essentially. So let's take a look at it again. Let's let it run one more time. Watch Hayden Hurst come throw that block so Joe Mixon can get that easy first down. I love to see stuff like this, man. All right, guys, moving on to later in this game. Take a look at the top of your screen where Hayden Hurst is lined up in the slot right beside one of the most dominant receivers in this league in Jamar Chase. Now, watch how this play turns out. Now, because Jamar Chase requires so much attention and he's such a threat, this allows Hayden Hurst to get free. So let's let this play run and we'll talk about it. Watch all these defenders come up to try to play Jamar Chase, and that allows Hayden Hurst to run right past him. So my question now, with literally all three defenders taking a step up. Hold on, let's take a look at it. Let's slow it down real quick. You have this linebacker, a corner, and a safety all taking a step up. Jamar Chase comes back to run like a curl route. And Hayden Hurst is free. He's completely by himself. Everybody is so afraid of Jamar Chase and his speed and what he can do with the ball in his hands. Now, my question is, does Carolina have this same type of threat? Can we use our decoy receivers to make defenders have to respect the speed of those guys to come up and allow Hayden Hurst to kind of sneak behind them in this play right here? So will DJ Chark be that guy? Will Terrence Marshall be that guy? Will Adam Thielen be that guy? I have so many questions with this receiving core, but I do have a lot of faith in this receiving core, as you guys could see as we broke down in our earlier videos. And we haven't talked about Adam Thielen yet, but I do think Adam Thielen will be another security blanket who can take the pressure off of our other route runners as well. So this play specifically, because they have such a dominant receiver in Jamar Chase, they're able to do things like this to free up other guys. So I want to see Carolina use up their schemes like this, something similar to this, but we have to have a dominant threat in Carolina. All right, guys, take a look at the bottom of your screen later in this game. He's lined up at tight end by himself. Let's let this play run real quick. All right, Hayden Hurst runs a deep in route against zone coverage. So what happens right here, how did Hayden Hurst get free? Easy first down the field. Let's talk about it real quick. Let's slow it down. Hayden Hurst lined up right here. All right, so against zone coverage, this linebacker sees a cross route coming, so he has to step up to try to play that cross route. Of course, we got our corner playing the flats, and Hayden Hurst is by himself because of that. Because you got Tyler Boyd running that cross route, Hayden Hurst is able to run right behind that linebacker to run a deep in route, and that's an easy first down for Hayden Hurst. All right, let's take a look at it from another angle. This is sort of similar to like a mesh concept because this guy runs across your screen and Hayden Hurst is running right at the top. So you got a guy coming from the bottom and you got a guy coming from the top. So pause. Get your head out the gutter real quick and let's actually talk about this. So what Tyler Boyd does from the slot, again, he runs this cross route right in front of the linebackers. He wants you to pick. So everybody steps up and Hayden Hurst is right behind him to run behind that zone coverage, and that's an easy first. All right, guys, take a look at the top of your screen where Hayden Hurst is lined up at tight end. Now, pay attention to what he does right here. He runs what's called like a chip block and release. So what he does is throw a block, and then he runs a route. All right, he throws that rusher off, runs right to the flat. Chains is right here, and he knows that. So what he does is he shows his determination to get past those chains and move the ball. So let's take a look at it again. At tight end, chips the guy, throws off his pressure, runs to the flat. He's by himself, hurdles right over the defender to get a first down. One more time real quick. This is a beautiful play. I'm going to let it run without rewinding it. All right, watch the hurdle. Easy first down, and y'all already know by now. He going to get up and he going to talk his shit. All right, guys, moving on to the next round of the playoffs. This is, of course, Super Bowl being on the line in this game. This is a really good game. A game that was decided in just 3 points. So take a look at the bottom of your screen. Again, showing you that he can perform in these big time games. I need a big time player to rise to the occasion in these big time games. So again, take a look at the bottom of your screen where he's lined up at tight end. They pull him in motion and watch this block that he throws, running full speed to take this guy completely out of the play to open up that running lane. Now, Joe Mixon was stopped short, but Hayden Hurst throws a block that is insane. So look at this block. Took him completely out of the play, and if these guys do their job with blocking, Joe Mixon is able to run right behind Hayden Hurst to get at least more yards than what he got right here in this play. All right, guys, let's move on to later in this game. Look at Hayden Hurst lined up in the slot. I really like this route by Hayden Hurst. I'm going to let this play run before we talk about it. But take a look at the route he runs. Take a look at him right here at the slot. Boom. Comes out that route. And that's a beautiful ball by Joe Burrow. But what happens right here, let's take another look at it from a closer angle. What happens here, the defender does a great job of closing this thing out. He doesn't allow Hayden Hurst to get his hands out and pull that ball in. Remember, we talked about how DJ Chark gets his hands out at the very last minute. Well, Hayden Hurst right here is kind of fighting with the corner, kind of give him a signal that the ball is near him. So what he does is he's able to play through the hands of Hayden Hurst. This is beautiful defense, by the way. Y'all know I'm a defensive guy, and this right here is beautiful defense, especially to defend a big body tight end like this against a ball that was thrown right in the hands of him. This is beautiful. Beautiful defense, but I did like the route running by Hayden Hurst. Let's take a look at it one more time. He runs a double move coming out, and then he runs right to the end zone. Beautiful ball by Joe Burrow. Beautiful route, but even better defense by the defender. All right, guys, take a look at Hayden Hurst lined up at tight end at the bottom of your screen. Let's let this play run real quick, and we'll talk about it. All right, runs a flat route. Then he throws a mean stiff arm. All right, let's run this thing back real quick. Let's take another look at it. Runs to the flat. Try to make a move on the defender. Great job by the defender to break down on that move that he did try to make. Take a look at it again. He tries to make a double step. Boom, boom. The defender is right there with him. So what Hayden Hurst does is he throws a stiff arm and just gets right by that first down. That's a beautiful play by both guys, both Hayden Hurst and this defender, to get that sure tackle. But look at the stiff arm that was thrown by Hayden Hurst. Throws him to the dirt, almost gets the first down. That's a beautiful play. Very gritty play by both guys right here. All right, guys, moving on to the final moments of the game. This drive is very critical to try to keep them in the game. About 15 yards out, you got the first down. So let's take a look at Hayden Hurst lined up in the slot. Take a look at the route that he runs and how he's able to move the chains. He runs a deep out route. He's by himself, beats the zone coverage, and then he gets out of bounds quickly. He understands the situation. He understands that he needs to stop the clock. Of course, he needs to get out of bounds to do that. So runs a deep out route. Of course, the corner is already stuck trying to defend two guys. So somebody had to be free, and it was Hayden Hurst. And that's an easy first down for Hayden Hurst. I like how he was able to get out of bounds very quickly. All right, guys, there you have it. Hayden Hurst is going to be our next big-time tight end. I think he's going to be the guy to finally replace Greg Olsen. Again, we talked about in the early stages of the video, we need a guy to be able to come in here and be productive. Somebody to get over 50 catches. Somebody to really be that dominant tight end that we haven't had since Greg Olsen. And I think Hayden Hurst is going to be that guy. And I can't wait to see how we use him in our scheme on the offense. And I think Frank Wright and Thomas Brown are going to be using this guy a lot this year, especially to kind of take the pressure off of our rookie quarterback. Also, expect to see a lot of formations where we see multiple tight ends being used. So if you see Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas in there at the same time, if you see Ian Thomas and Hayden Hurst at the same time, Hayden Hurst and Tommy Tremble, expect to see a lot of that, especially in heavy set situations where you have a lot of linemen on the line to kind of help out in the run game, or you can have it in the play action game as well. So expect to see a lot of tight ends being used this year. We will have over 50 catches combined as a tight end unit, but will Hayden Hurst have 50 catches by himself? We will see in this season coming up, man. I can't wait. Again, stay tuned, man. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. I have training camp videos coming out for you guys very soon when we do approach training camp. And we also will be breaking down the defense when I have my guy C. Dougie come on the channel over at What's Up Doug. So stay tuned for that. Again, I appreciate you guys for pulling up and showing mad love on this channel. I can't appreciate you guys enough for all the love that you have been showing. And I will see you guys on the next video. Stay true to yourself. Keep being you. Follow those dreams, turn those dreams into goals. And go get it, fam. Love you guys. Peace. Thanks for tuning in, family. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. What is PrizePicks? PrizePicks is where you can bet as little as to $5 on any sports and get a chance to win 25 times your money. They have NFL, NBA, WNBA, MLB, NASCAR, and plenty of other options to optimize your money. Be sure to use that promo code to double your first deposit of up to $100, and they will match your first deposit. If you need any extra advice, you have myself and my brother/partner, C. Dougie, to help you with full breakdowns and analysis to increase your chances of winning. We have a group that has seen plenty of interesting results since joining. We also meet twice a week on Zoom where we discuss our analysis on each matchup and discuss injury reports and more. We love to pick each other's brains and have fun discussing important games throughout the week. If you want to be a part of it, comment below or DM me on my Instagram at uncle.quan so we can get you up in here, family.